The lineups are set for tonight's TGL match between the Bay Golf Club and Atlanta Drive GC. That's at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. They've been advertising the heck out of it. Looks awesome. Cannot wait to watch it. With that, joining us now will be the anchor for the Bay tonight. That's 2023 U.S. Open champion Wyndham Clark. Wyndham, appreciate your time, man. Thanks for hanging out with us. It's the first TGL match of the season. So give us a little bit of why you're excited to be in year 2 of this TGL fun.
Well, last year we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, and the first few you were just getting used to the simulator, the arena, etc. And this year, now we know we're kind of veterans, and we realized how fun it was last year. The team aspect was amazing. The atmosphere is really fun, and so I'm just excited to get back in SoFi Center and be with my teammates and hopefully get a W.
Okay, can we just take a moment to look at your background? Your boots on the ground at TGL. Look at that, the clouds.
Yeah, look at that.
You,
Pretty cool,
green
huh?
behind you.
Yeah, it's
That's amazing.
I should almost turn it around for you guys. It's pretty amazing.
So walk me through that. Some of the differences or some challenges that you have going, preparing for outdoor golf versus the indoor nature of TGL.
I'd say it's easier indoors for sure. You don't have the wind. You don't have too many, off lies. You don't have different grasses per se. So it's a little bit easier, but definitely you got to get your yardages that are a little bit different. They're a little bit different. The ball maybe doesn't curve as much. And then obviously the putting is challenging. So, but yeah, I mean, it's fun. Like we're here right now. There's kind of almost a shoot around like you would have in basketball. We're all kind of practicing, and then we'll go rest up. We do media, and then you come back and you have your warm up, and then we're playing.
All right, so walk me through this because, an NBA player said before that one of the hardest parts about that sport is that everybody plays some level of basketball, so they all think that they can cover it, right? Like there's this and now I'm watching you guys. You've gone from playing golf outdoors, which none of us could do successfully, to now you're simulator golf, which is also something we all struggle with. How much do you feel like just the common nature of how much people play golf changes the way that people give you any grace if you have a bad day?
I mean, in this, last year the putting green was tough, so it definitely made us look maybe a little worse. They changed it this year. It's definitely a lot better. I think in this atmosphere with teammates, there is some of that like, oh shoot, I let you down. But that's one thing you got to learn in golf is you got to have a quick, short memory, and always be your best friend on the golf course and not get so down on yourself. It's especially in this, it's a fun atmosphere. We're not, I mean, if you look at it in that way, that it's more of a game and it's for entertainment and, you're still competitive and want to try to win, I think then you're in the best mindset and then you have fun out there. And I think your best golf comes out.
You can watch TGL on ESPN tonight at 5 o'clock Eastern time, but that's not going to be the only ESPN programming that your eyes are on this weekend. As an Oregon Ducks fan, to be watching the Ducks taking on Indiana in the college football playoff in the Peach Bowl this weekend, I will allow you to put your Oregon Ducks fan hat on, put your green and yellow tinted glasses on, be a total and complete fan. Oregon has lost one game this season, and that was to Indiana earlier this season. Do you love the fact that you get a rematch in this game? Or as a fan, are you hoping that it could have just been, a totally brand new, fresh opponent?
I mean, yeah, we would have liked to play someone different. I mean, Indiana's the number one team in the country, but if you gave me the choice between playing like Ohio State or Georgia in this game, I would choose Indiana just for the sheer fact that beating a team twice is very difficult. You saw it last year with the Ducks. We beat Ohio State, and then we played them first round and lost. So, I feel good. I feel like we're the underdog, and I think Dan Lanning's going to have the team ready to go, and obviously it's an uphill battle, but I think this is kind of the championship game, if I'm being honest. I think whoever wins this probably goes on to win the championship. So, hopefully they come in with that mentality and keep the defense rolling like last week, and then hopefully Dante and the boys make some nice plays and put up some points.
All right, but Indiana is sort of new as a darling in the college football world. So who are you trash talking? Like, because I just don't know that many Indiana people that are going to be out there blowing your phone up with them. Like, who do you trash talk during this game?
I mean, honestly, nobody. Out of the woodworks, I found some guys I didn't even know went to Indiana. They never talk trash, and they're like, saying stuff, and I go, you guys are never in this. And more than anything, just because they're not or haven't been as competitive in years past. If we didn't win, I'm happy for them. I know that's crazy to say, but I don't want anyone else to win because you're just not used to having Indiana there. So, I'm cheering them on if we don't win. But there's definitely trash talk. I maybe have a few friends that have gone to Indiana, so I don't really have anyone to talk to. I don't even know anyone on tour that went to Indiana, so there's a lack of trash talk. Let's say that.
So who's the biggest college football trash talker in your circle?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you're talking golfers or just
whatever. Whoever's blowing your phone. You can give me any famous people you want, Wyndham. Let's go.
I would say I definitely have. Let me think. Well, okay. Currently, right now, actually, the guy who manages our TGL team, Josh Seipel, he's an Ole Miss guy, and he's been talking trash. And I'm like, come on, you guys shouldn't even be in this situation. They don't have a coach. They're first timers. So he's been talking trash. My close friends definitely are like, Oregon can't do it. They're still the Pac-12. They can't pull it out. And then I'd say the biggest as far as guys on tour is the Georgia guys. They've been kind of on top the last few years, and they just look at everyone else. They kind of look down on everyone else. And I'd say in the last couple of years, things have changed. Big Ten's kind of the dominant football conference.
Yeah, it's easy to say to the trash talking Indiana or Ole Miss fans, like, okay, all right, you've never been here before. But the Georgia fans that trash talk, it's like, okay, you're right. I defer to you. You have been at the top of the sport for quite some time. But somebody who is an epic trash talker, though, is Oregon's head coach in Dan Lanning. I will inject his pregame and halftime hype up speeches into my veins. Is he a better coach than Kurt Cignetti?
Oh, 100%. I do think, what he's done in Indiana is very impressive. But I mean, Dan's won championships with Georgia. Pretty sure he's won it with Alabama. Like he's kind of done it all. He just has to do it on his own. And I think you have two coaches that haven't won on their own. So, it's going to be a fair battle. But I put my allegiance with Dan. I've been around him. He's the most intense guy I've ever been around. Like you said, his pregame speeches are epic. I got to see a post-game speech before they played CU. I don't know if it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. And man, being in there, I got chills. I wanted to run through a wall. And so I'm hoping that he gets the guys like that for this next game. But yeah, I'm a huge Dan Lanning fan.
All right, you're also a huge Broncos fan, and I've got a Raiders helmet behind me, which makes us mortal enemies. Here's the real question, though. My team sucks. Your team does not. My team has the first pick in the draft, which could be, depending on which mock draft you read, could be Dante Moore if he comes out. So if Dante Moore comes out and he's the quarterback of my beloved Raiders, will you have to root for the Raiders against the Broncos because the Oregon tie? Come on.
No chance.
Okay.
No offense to Dante. I will never root for the Raiders ever, ever, ever. Maybe an individual player, I might say, oh, it's nice that he's having a good game or whatever, but no. Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, it's just not a question. I can't root for them.
I respect it.
Well, still TBD on what Dante Moore's future looks like. Will he come back to Oregon? Will he declare for the NFL draft? What would your fan reaction be if Dante Moore decides to come back to Oregon next year?
If he's a top 10 pick, it's a no-brainer for him. He's got to go. If he thinks he could slide, yeah, I think maybe you stay. I mean, now with NIL in college, he's, getting compensated for his play. I personally think that another year in college would be great for him. And then, selfishly, I would love to have him back for one more year because, we have an incredible recruiting class for next year and we already have a great team. And I just think the more snaps he gets, the better he's going to be. So, yeah, selfishly, I'd love to have him again. If we don't win this year, if he comes back, I think we'll win next year.
You were a high school classmate of Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey's obviously having an incredible season. So, what's your relationship like with him, and what do you see from him now?
It's Christian's had obviously an amazing career. It's just been a tale of, if he's healthy, he's the best running back in football, and if he's obviously not healthy, he's not playing. So, yeah, big fan. We stay in touch. We have so many mutual friends. His brother Max is a good buddy of mine, and we have a big group chat with a bunch of guys that we're all chirping on there, and we all root for C-Mac, of course. So we talk every once in a while, and then when he's in the off season, he'll ask some golf questions, and I probably see him once, maybe twice a year, and maybe go watch a game or two. So yeah, we're still friendly. I mean, now that he's married and has kids, it's a little different dynamic. He's got a lot of things that he's got to deal with, but yeah, we're still buddies for sure.
That clip that we just played looked like 16 at the Waste Management Open. Is that the best hole in golf?
Definitely the most exciting. I definitely the most exciting. And you're probably right. It is probably the best hole in golf. I mean, there's that and probably 17 at TPC Sawgrass. Those, as a player, you walk in and you have so much energy, and like, I'd say it gives you kind of the feeling you'd get if you were walking out of a tunnel for a football game or a basketball game, where you're just so amped, hyped up that you can run through a wall. And that's one of the tough things about that hole, is you have to control your excitement because you hit it way farther. And so typically you're hitting one club less because of that, adrenaline that's running through your veins. So it's so much fun. And if you hit a good shot, make a birdie, yeah, I mean, we feel like we're in another sport where you just can celebrate and kind of do whatever you want. And yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite holes.
Speaking of PGA courses, Brooks Koepka has announced his intention to leave LIV Golf. We all saw this. Would you welcome Brooks back on the PGA Tour? Even maybe welcome him TGL one day?
For sure, TGL. I'm good buddies with Brooks, and I don't know. I'm torn on this. As a guy that kind of stayed on the PGA Tour, I don't know how I feel about it, but I also know Brooks is one of the best players in the world, and I think it benefits the tour. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I can give you. I don't really know. I just want whatever is best for the PGA Tour.
Well, the TGL kicks off tonight on ESPN, 5 p.m. Don't want to miss it. Wyndham, good luck. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. Best of luck this season with the TGL. Going to be a fun watch. And begrudgingly, good luck to your Broncos. That's the best I can say.
Yeah, thank you guys. And hey, go Ducks.